Hello everyone, welcome back to Digital Electronics course. So in the last lecture series, we discussed about combinational circuits. So in this lecture, I am going to explain the sequential circuit. So in sequential circuit, the flip-flops and shift register I am going to explain. So course content of a sequential circuit, that is a SR latch using NAND and NOR gate, and few flip-flops families SR, JK, MS, JK, D and T flip-flops, and shift register we are going to discuss. So first we need to learn what is a sequential logic circuits. Sequential logic circuits or a sequential circuits whose present outputs depends upon the present inputs and the past outputs. So in order to monitor the past output, we require some feedback circuit. So we can construct the sequential circuit by using a combinational circuit. We modify the combinational circuit by connecting one feedback memory unit. So automatically the combinational circuit will be converted into sequential circuit. So therefore 1 bit of memory we are going to store the past outputs. So first concept in a sequential circuit is latch. Because we explained the memory unit or a memory part in a combinational circuit will make combinational circuit as a sequential, so that how to store that past outputs in the circuit, so that can be achieved by using this latch. So latch is nothing but a lock. We are going to lock some zeros and ones previous states inside a combinational circuit or a circuit. So that could be possible by SR latch. So S means a set which enables the device by a logic 1, and if R means a reset which disables the devices. Qn and Qn bar are the past output states, and Qn plus 1, Qn plus 1 bar are the present outputs of the any circuits. So SR latch can be achieved in two ways. So SR latch by using the NOR gate is nothing but a positive logic of implementation. So here the positive logic means the logic 1 which represents the logic high, logic 0 or binary 0 represents the logic low. So in negative logic it's vice versa. So SR or input, S and R are the two inputs. Here is a combination circuit of two NOR gate, where the outputs of the NOR gates is feeded as an input for the another NOR gates. It's just like a chain. So S and R are the two input. Q and Q bar is the output of the circuit. So Q is we are considering only one output, that is Q, because Q bar is complementary to the Q. So here is a truth table for S and R. So for 2-bit combination 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So for this 2-bit combination of an input S and R, so first case 0 0 input, the first NAND gate, that is first NOR gate, that is first NOR gate, the output is, the input of S is 0. Similarly for R is also 0. So during that time we don't know what exactly the past output exists in Q bar. So we may consider that as a Qn bar. So 0 NOR, that is 0 plus Qn bar whole bar will be the output from first NOR gate. So that is nothing but Q bar you will get. qn bar you will get. Qn bar whole bar is nothing but a qn, will get it in q, and qn bar you will get at q bar output. So that indicates there is no change. That means it will displace the past outputs. Therefore the previous state no change is nothing but a memory. We may call it as a memory. And for 0 1 state, so for s is 0 and r is 1, so 0 plus 1 you, as usual you will get a qn. And if it is qn, so qn plus 1, so according to Boolean law you will get 1 bar. 1 bar is nothing but 0. A bar is nothing but a 0. Therefore a bar is nothing but a 1, sorry. So q bar is 0, q bar is 1, then complementary output q is equal to 0. Therefore the output is 0. That indicates the reset condition. Device is in off state. So next state, so s is 0, s is 1, r is 0. So during this complementary operation, as discussed in the last state, you will get 1. So that is nothing but a set state. So if up to this condition the SR latch operation is okay, but when we apply the 1 1 condition, you will get the q as a 1 and q bar is a 1, or both are equal to a 0. So this state is impossible in case of logical gates. That means either if q is 1, the q bar must be a 0. But here in this condition both the outputs are 0 0. So this is not possible in Boolean operations. Therefore we call this condition as a forbidden case or indeterminate state. So NAND gate, that is, has like positive logic NOR gate construction. NAND gate is also used to construct the SR latch. So this circuit combination we call it as a negative logic. So negative logic, we know that it is represented with a S bar is represented with the 1 1 is nothing but a 0 0. So it will shows the previous state and there is no changes. And in 1 0 it is in reset state. That means complementary to the NOR gate implementation of SR latch you will get it. So NAND operation of S and OR will get the same table as like NOR gate. No change memory state, reset state, set state and forbidden state you will get by using this NAND gate also. So let us discuss the first integral part of sequential circuit, that is flip-flops. Flip-flop is nothing but a 1-bit storage circuit. Flip-flop is a combination of the SR latch and one more set of NAND gate or NOR gate used to feed the clock input. So clock is nothing but a positive square wave, which has a positive level and negative levels. So clocking, there is a 2 types of triggering is possible during the clocking any flip-flops. That is level triggered and its triggered are the 2 types of the clocking signal, clocking any digital circuit. So level triggered, that means whenever the positive clock pulse, that is positive level of the clock pulse is applied to any circuit, the circuit will become active. So such type of triggering is called as a positive level triggered. If the device is activated with the negative levels, so then it is called as a negative level triggered circuits. And edge triggers are, that means if it is a square wave, it has the edges, that is a transition from positive to negative, negative to positive. So if it is a positive edge triggered flip flop, that means the device is gets activated from transition from 0 to negative to positive. Such type of triggering is called as a rising edge also, or positive edge trigger flip flops, or any digital devices. And negative edge triggered is nothing but the triggering will happen so during from positive to negative transition. So during that time the device will get active. So that type of triggering is called as negative edge triggering flip flops or any digital circuits. So here we are, in order to feed the clock pulse, the two sets of NAND gate, that is one set of NAND gate we are using before SR latch. So SR latch, purpose of SR latch is to store the bit of information, that is passed outputs. So in this example we can give the low active input. Low active input is nothing but negative triggered inputs. For positive triggered input for RS latch, and clocked SR flip flop block diagram is represented with one CK signal, nothing but a clock, and S is the input and R is another input. Q and Q bar are the two outputs of the SR flip flop. So total 4 NAND gate implementation we are going to do for clocked SR flip flop, one clock signal. Here is a truth table. So by this truth table we can understand how the clocked SR flip flop will works. So I'm going to make this clock signal is always high, because if I make this clock signal as a 0, the complete device is in turned off condition. That means it will shows only the memory, no changes will be happen. So if SR input is 0 0 and the passed output Qn is nothing but a passed output, only two possibilities is there. So therefore I will make for each state I will make 0 and 1 passed outputs. So for 0 0, so for 0 0 input, output itself Qn plus 1 is 0, and for 0 0 even passed output is 1, output is 1, which indicates a memory, no changes. So if it is in reset condition, that is 0 1 and 0 1 is a reset condition. So for both the two inputs, even passed output is 1, the output is always 0 0. So it is nothing but an off state or reset condition. So for set condition 1 0 1 0, if both the inputs, if the passed output is 0, the output must be keep constant, that is 1 1. Therefore it is called as set condition. So but this condition will not exist, that is indeterminate condition. So we can see we solved this expression by using above circuit. So Qn plus 1 you will get a Qn bar is nothing but memory, and Qn1 is nothing but a reset condition, and set condition 1 0 and 1 1 forbidden state, but at a certain condition you will get 0 0 also. So by solving this truth table using a K map, we'll get an expression. So the expression is nothing but Qn plus 1 is equal to S plus Qn into R. So this is a Boolean expression for SR flip flop, clocked SR flip flop. So SR flip flop, as we can see in SR flip flop, the memory and forbidden state is exist. So this forbidden state is useless. In case of combinational operation, we no need of this forbidden state. In order to omit this condition, we are improved flip-flops with only the two state, because only the sequential circuit or any applications required set and reset condition. Therefore, we modified the SR flip-flop by short the two input with the one single input and one NOT gate. We can achieve one more flip flop, we call it as a D flip flop. D flip flop is nothing but a data line flip flop. So this data line flip flop, you will have only the two state, either 0 and 1. Even the past output is 0 1 0 1, you will get reset and set condition. So for that, a boolean expression for not an SR, it is a D flip flop. It's a Qn plus 1. Whatever the D input is there, it will reflect the output Qn plus 1. So one more flip flop was implemented, that is Jack Kilby is a inventor of JK flip flop. So JK flip flop is same as like SR flip flop, but one more modification and improvement done by JK, that is Jack Kilby. That means invalid state or indeterminate state will be replaced by a toggle state. That means during in SR flip flop, this forbidden state or indeterminate state is replaced by using the toggle state, since the toggle state may be useful for a digital circuits instead of this indeterminate state. In order to avoid this clock pulse, application of clock pulse, Jack Kilby implemented one more procedure improvement in SR flip flop. So here the positive edge triggered JK flip flop and negative edge JK flip flop block diagram. So only one small difference is, that is clock pulse is negative for this JK, and here the clock pulse is positive for positive edge triggered JK flip flop. So apart from these two input, so remaining all operational circuit is same. It also has the 4 NAND gate implementation. So here is a positive edge triggered flip flop. That means the clock pulse is only the difference. It is positive edge, rising edge. So for J and K input, so for 0 0 output is 0, and for J and K is 0, Qn state is 1, nothing but a 1. You will get output nothing but a memory state, as same as like S and R. And if it is 0 and 1, that is a reset condition. So during reset condition, the outputs are 0 0, that is 0 0. Here the SR is written, instead of SR we need to write JK. So for 1 0, so output must be a 1 state, even past output is 1 and 0, output is in state condition, set condition. The toggle condition is completely different compared to SR flip flop. Here if the J and K both are high, if the Qn past output is 0, it will reflect 1, logic 1. If the past output is 1, it reflects 0. That indicates the keep on this value is changing from 1 to 0 and 0 to 1 transition. So therefore the logic expression for a JK flip flop is given Qn plus 1 is equal to J into Qn bar plus K bar into Qn. So negative edge JK flip flop. So negative edge JK flip flop complete table is same as that of positive edge triggered JK flip flop. Only the difference is the clock pulse is falling edge. So here is a timing diagram for the positive edge triggered JK flip flop. So the positive edge rising edge, I told that the transition from negative to positive, that is positive edge triggered. Here is a clock pulses. So for the first clock pulse, both the J is 0 state and K is also 0 state. So during this transition, the Qn or the output is 0 and the Q bar output is 1, nothing but a memory. It will resembles or it will shows the past output. So in the next stage or in the next clock pulse, the J is make it as 1 and k is make it as 0. So during that condition the output is 1 and q bar is 0. So this first two clock pulse will tells that the output is in memory state, and the clock pulse is 1, that is j is 1, k is 0. So during that again the q is 0 and q bar is 1. It also represents the reset condition of the circuit. And if j is 1, k is 1, so this is indeterminate state. That means either 1 0 you will get, that is toggled state. So this toggled state will continue up to a certain clock pulse, and the timing diagram will repeat the process. So in certain circuits only the toggle states is required. So in order to implement that circuit, improvement will did for JK flip-flop. So that is T is nothing but a toggle flip-flop. Here only the two states will exist, one is memory and JK, and the JK inputs are get shorted here and remaining all are same as JK flip-flop. So for 0 input, passed output is 0, output is 0. If it is 0, passed output is 1, output is 1. If the T is rise, which will gives, if the passed output is 0 1, the output present output must be 1 0. This is nothing but it will be toggle in between the passed output and the present outputs. So here 0 1 is there, here 1 0 is there. It is keep on exchanging. That means the output is keep on exchanging the transition from 1 0 to 0 1. So here is a timing diagram. T is 0 and q is 0 and q bar is 1. And at the next transition from T1 to T2, the T is high, toggle is 1. So now the toggle will start in the Q state up to T3 time period, and after the time T3 period up to T5 period it is in memory state. After that again the toggle state will be continuous. So we can effectively use the toggle state of the T flip-flop in any kind of applications. So master slave JK flip-flop. So this master slave use of this master slave JK flip-flop is required because in order to avoid the race around condition. So race around condition means, so in achieving the toggle state, if the clock pulse is keep on continuing, that means the clock period, if the clock period is too long, so during that state this JK flip-flop will get confused, or it will comes into an equilibrium condition, because it will not give any output without a application of the clock pulses. Therefore it will get confused, or it's in equilibrium state. It won't understand the status of output. It will give some wrong output. So such a state during the clock pulse is pressed for too long time, so it's called as race around condition, and so it can be avoided by using the combination of the two JK flip-flops. Here the first JK flip-flop combination is called a master latch or a master JK flip-flop and a slave JK flip-flop. So the slave JK flip-flop will obeys the order of master JK flip-flop. Master flip-flop is positive level triggered and slave flip-flop is negatively triggered. Negative pulse is applied to as slave flip-flops. So master will respond before the slaves. So if J and K is in 1, that is 0 and 1, Q bar output of the masters goes to a K inputs, and slaves is a clock forces the slave to a reset. Thus the slave copies the master. If J and K is a 1, it toggles on the positive transition of the clock, and the sleeve toggles on the negative transition of the clock pulses. So same as like take a flip flop, that is for a condition of J and K is 0. Here I mentioned S and R is nothing but a JK. If both are 0, the slave flip flop will reflect the master, and it will follows only the output of the master flip flop. If it is in reset, that is J is 0 and K is 1, the reset condition, master slave and JK flip flop and slave flip flop will use output of 0 0. And conversely, at the third case also, it will use only the set condition. In the toggle state, the slave flip flop and master slave flip flop will use the same output. That is, toggle will happen between masters and slave flip flop at the same time. Here is a black diagram, timing diagram of master slave flip flop. This is M1 is nothing but master outputs of M1 and M2 output from the masters. So for certain JK inputs, and this is a Q, nothing but a slave output from Q and Q bar. So this is about the flip flop, and now we shall move on important concept on shift register. That is, shift register is a group of flip flops or used to store and transfer the multiple bits of data. So in case of flip flop, we can able to store only one bit of information, but in case of a shift register, we can store the multiple bits. If we store n number of, if we are in the flip flops of n number of flip flop, then we can store n number of bits of information. So bit can be stored in such a register, can be made to move within a register and in and out of the register by applying the clock pulses. So by the application of the clock pulses, it will store the information and it will transfer the informations. So basically 4 types of shift registers are exist. They are serial in, serial out shift registers, and serial in, parallel out shift registers, parallel in, serial out shift registers, and parallel in, parallel out shift registers. So shall we discuss one by one? So here is a block diagram. We can better understand this SISO, SIPO, PIPO and PISO. So in case of SISO, we are giving or feeding serial inputs, so serial data in with the clock pulse. So for each clock pulse, the serial data will shift from one flip flops to another flip flop. Stage A is nothing but a first flip flop, and stage D is the last flip flop. The data will shift from stage A to stage D. At stage D, will get a output. And in serial in and parallel out case, the data we are giving serially with respect to a clock pulse. The outputs will be displayed. Output will be obtained in parallel manner. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 are the output. That is single in, multiple output, 4 output cases. If it is a 4-bit of information or a 4-bit register, shift register. So in parallel in, serial out, we are giving the input data in parallelly. D1, D2, D3 and D4 are the inputs. Output will be, you will get by serial data out. That is multiple, that is 4 input, 1 output. In case of parallel in, parallel out, so parallelly we are feeding the circuit shift register, and parallelly you will get output. So first class of shift register, that is serial in, serial out. shift register, which allows a serial input and produces a serial output, is known as a serial in serial out. Block diagram of shift register SISO, which has a 3 D flip flop. Here the inputs D0, D1 and D2 are the 3 inputs for the 3 different D flip flops. All these flip flops feeded with a single clock pulse. That means these are sharing a one single clock pulse. So each time, if one bit of information serially will feed it to the D flip flop, that is D2, we need to apply the clock pulse to the D2. So the first flip flop will transfer the information, gives the output to the Q2, and this Q2 is again feed it to the next flip flop. Similarly, Q1 will feed it to the next flip flop D0 as a D0 input. So working principle of the serial in serial out. Take an example. With this truth table we can better understand how the SISO will works. That is 0, 1, 1 will be the binary information I am going to feed for the shift register, serial in serial out. From LSB to MSB, serial at an input, we'll put all this information, that is 3-bit information, to the shift register SISO. So initial state of the D flip flop from leftmost to the rightmost is 0, 0, 0. So serially I will put information, that is initial value is 0, 0. We keep that as initial value 0, 0 in the flip flops. In the first clock pulse I will put an LSB value, that is a 1, and I will put one clock pulse. So during this clock pulse I will feed the LSB value to this D2, and I will get 1 as output Q2, because the D flip flop will transfer whatever the input is there in the D2. Therefore Q2 is 1, Q1 is 0 and Q0 is 0. So we can observe in this truth table. So LSB I will put it in a serial input, that is in D2. Q2 is 1, Q1 is 1 and Q0 is 0. So in the second clock pulse, that value of the 1 will goes on shifting from one output to another output, that is one flip flop to another flip flop. So second bit I will feed it to the serial input, that is first flip flop. So 1 is shifted to Q1. So likewise at the third clock pulse I will get the first LSB, whichever I feed it in the serial input, and so 0 MSB I will get at the fifth positive clock pulse of the circuit. So this is an operation of serial in serial out. Similarly, another class, that is serial in parallel out. The shift register, which allows the serial input and produces the output in parallel manner. Therefore we call it as serial in parallel out. So we are feeding the input serially with the input of serial input to the first D flip flop D2, and so the output of the D2 flip flop Q2 will be the first output, and D1 flip flop output is nothing but a Q1, D0 flip flop output is Q0. So input is only one, the output is multiple, nothing but a Q0, that is Q2, Q1 and Q0. All the flip flops will share a single clock pulse. So for this SIPO, here also the same example I will take, that is 0, 1, 1, LSB is 1, MSB is 0. I will feed this input as a serially to the SIPOs, and initial state Q2, Q1, Q0 is in 0 state. So after application of first clock pulse, LSB will be omitted from Q2. So in the next clock pulse, I will apply the second bit input to the serial input, so it will reflect in Q2, but the previous output of the Q2 will be displayed in the Q1. And the third clock pulse, you will get the MSB in a Q2, that is 0 1 1 you will get in the third clock pulse. So by the application of 3 clock pulse, you will get the parallel outputs. So in PISO, as like SIPO, it's reverse of SIPO. Parallelly we are feeding the inputs. Here the parallel inputs are there. D2 we can give by here also. The parallel input we are going to provide using a NAND gate. So for preset enable, and here also it will shares the clock pulse 3 flip-flops, but the inputs is 3, output is 1. This is a 3-bit PISO shift register. So for this, only the 2 clock pulse is enough to get an output. Take the same example of 0 1 1. So in the first clock pulse, we are feeding the input of 0 1 1 through a Q2, Q1 and Q0, that is MSB, and the output in the first clock pulse in the initial state, the Q0 output, this serial output, you will get 1 logic 1 from the Q0, because D flip-flop will reflect whatever the input feeded to this flip-flop. Therefore we will get logic 1 in the first initial stage. And the next subsequent clock pulse, the Q1 is 0 and serial output Q0 will get 1, and the second clock pulse will get 0, that is MSB bit. So at last we will get 1 1 0, or nothing but 0 1 1, that is LSB is 1 1 and MSB is 0. So this is the working principle of PISO. PIPO is simple circuit, so there is no need of a truth table to explain it, because by application of parallel inputs, for example 0 1 1, at a single clock pulse we will get all the 3 outputs in the parallel output. For example D1 T0 D1 D2, we are feeding an input, with a single clock pulse we will get the parallel outputs at Q0 Q1 and Q2. So this is a working principle of PIPO.